Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to a guide on the Seder Plate as part of Gateway's teaching on celebrating Passover. My name is Dave Simon, and I'm one of the Jewish pastors at Gateway Church, and I'm honored to share with you a core centerpiece to the Passover meal. If you have not yet watched the introduction video, I really encourage you to do so. In this video, as others in the series, we are training you on how to lead while using the Messianic Passover Haggadah published by Jewish Voice Ministries. As there are many other Haggadahs, it will become evident that most of what I share will be applicable to any Haggadah. Of course, we have learned that Seder means to tell the story through meal and celebration. As you will discover in this video, a core element to telling this story is known as the Seder Plate. The Seder uses our senses as part of telling the story in such a way that it is memorable from generation to generation. The use of taste, smell, and even feel allows us to be immersed into the story rather than simply being a spectator. Here on the table, we have a Seder plate with all of the current traditional elements shown. Some of these elements are specifically called out by the Lord Himself in Exodus 12 as part of the annual Passover feast, where He commands they are to eat the meat that night, roasted over a fire with matzah and bitter herbs. They are to eat it. Additional elements have since been added which have become traditional and add to the effectiveness of the storytelling. One suggestion I have is to try and have one Seder plate with all of the elements for every 8 people attending your Seder. This is important because you want all of your family and friends to be able to participate in all aspects of the Seder and partaking of the elements. Throughout your Haggadah, you will come across all of the elements on the Seder plate, with each having their own significance. I will share a little bit about each here. First, we have the Zeroah, which is a lamb shank as a reminder of the Passover lamb. Now, this can be the most challenging to find for your Seder, but many local grocery stores will stock one close to Passover. I know, for example, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, both Central Market and Market Street do carry them. The maror are bitter herbs. Typically, this is horseradish to remind us of the bitterness of slavery. Not my personal favorite. It has a big kick to it, so be careful, take it slowly. The harisset is a sweet mixture of chopped apples and nuts mixed with sweet wine, honey, and cinnamon to symbolize the mortar used by the Hebrew slaves. Even as a small child, this was my personal favorite, and this still holds true today. I've even included a link in the video to a recipe on how to make the harisset so you can make it at home. The karpas is parsley to remind us of the sweetness of the promise of new life which bursts forth from God's bounty each spring. The hazoret is a second bitter herb, most often romaine lettuce, but you can use parsley here as well. This also reminds us of the bitterness of slavery. The beitzah is a roasted egg, symbolic of the peace offering which accompanied the sacrifice of the lamb. It is also a reminder of the destruction of the temple and burning of Jerusalem in 70 AD. And finally, we have a bowl of salt water, symbolizing the tears of the Hebrew slaves. There are many different Seder plates, the physical plate itself, available to purchase, including on Amazon, but feel free to be flexible to use any plate. The key really is having the elements to effectively tell this amazing story of God's rescue. In fact, I had a situation, I've had it many times now, where I've had such a large group that what I've done is I've taken a paper plate, I've printed out a picture of the Seder plate, cut it and taped it to the plate, and then just use these plastic cups for all the elements to put on the plates, and that works very well. So be creative to whatever works for your Seder. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it and hope you enjoyed it. God bless you and your family. Enjoy your meal and celebration. Chag Sameach.